Alrighty, so we're gonna get straight into this. So this is probably the last video, the final video for our create a little GitHub profile site. So let me show you what we have been done so far. Type a username, got the basic usernames information, we got all the repositories information as well, and then we have a little graph shows a language that what's the frequency for the language that the user used. Alright, so now for the final part, which if we compare to this, so this app is available at so DevIsMe is my organization name, and then Boyan12, this is my actual user, so feel free to follow me there if you want to. So .github.io/github-profile, and then if I type my username there, first you can see the form goes away, and then you can see it's more nicely formatted. Now we're going to get the contribution. So we're going to get the contribution calendar set up and my recent GitHub activity set up. Alright, so let's go ahead and do these two parts. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started coding. Let's see. Is this the right one? No, this is not the right one. Sorry guys, just a sec. This is the right one. Oops. Alright, so okay. So now let me go ahead and hide this part out. Alright, so for the final part, what we'll do is let's go ahead and implement the calendar. So as always, we're going to add HTML first. So this will also have a class called div center, div class text center. Oops. And then there we can say h4 your contribution. By the way, this contribution calendar first is not made by me. We're going to use some external tool, and it's not provided by GitHub either. This calendar is similar to a profile. So if you go to github.com/your-username, you should see a contribution calendar there, which should be similar as this. And then the image source, it's going to be interesting. So we'll say image source and leave it blank. Class. So let me try to use the image source. Don't forget about it. Image source class image fluid alt contribution calendar ID going to be calendar. Alright, and now let's go and modify our JavaScript file there. So basically what we can do is this is going to be really simple. So we can say document.getElements by ID. And then in here we can say calendar.setAttribute. We're gonna set source, and then what will be the source? Well, here is your source. Turns out that there is a service that's this website provide rshot.org, and then specifically it's like ghchart.rshot.org, and then basically if you fill out your username here, it will automatically gives your your contribution calendar there. So I think that was pretty cool. Make sure to check his website out. And then now, if I go ahead, now if you go take a look at that, whoops. Again, let me see, hide this. So in here, I could just type my username. And now you can see I also have a contribution calendar down button there. Alright, so that was pretty cool. Now what we'll do is we will go ahead and implement the final part, so recent GitHub activity. This is not hard at all, I would say. Our Reacts are pretty simple, so let's go take a look. How can we do that? So in here, we'll go and say basically add our final fetch there, and then this time the endpoint is going to be slash users slash username slash events. Then response.json data, and then here go say if data dot length, which should be array. Data is an array in this case. We'll say var length equals 6. I don't know why I did this at 5. We'll just say it's 5. If data dot length is less than 6, and the length will be equals to data dot length. So basically, we are checking here is checking how many recent kids we have. We only want to display the most current 5. If it's more than 5, or technically more than 6, if it's less than 6, which means 5 or lower, then we can just say, okay, it can be like, since it's less than 5, we can just get the length of that, and then. But otherwise, if it's not less, it's automatically going to be 5. So now I can loop through this. So let I equals 0, I less than length, I plus, and then here, what I could say is we only want to display 2 kind of event actually. It's either push event or create event. Obviously, you can customize this if you want to. But for me, I just want to display these 2 events. So I can say equals to push event or data bracket I bracket type equals to create event. And here we're going to say li the inner HTML. Oops. So it's actually var li equals document dot create element li the inner HTML equals to this data bracket 1 bracket I bracket type hyphen data bracket I bracket repo bracket name. So what type is it? Is it push or create? What's a name? And when is this created? So say data bracket I bracket created at. And then what we could do is we could append the activity. So let's also go create another div, and in here we'll say div class equals text center h4 recent GitHub activities, and then ULID activities. Oops, my mistake. And then here we'll set a custom style. Basically, just get rid of the bullet point. And now in our app.js, let's go ahead and append this. So we could say, now let's say document .get element by ID activities the append child. Alright, so this should do the trick of handling activity. Whoops. Let's see. Alright, so now if we try refresh, let's type our username, submit. Okay, so now I got our recent GitHub activity there as well. Alright, so the last thing we will do is we will style this a little bit. So first thing is recall that we wrap this around this function, right? This huge function, display info. So wrap this huge function in our display info. Oops. Let me see. Oops. All right. So now we recall that we wrap this whole function in this inside of display info. So basically in here. So now let's go ahead and add some custom style to make it look nice. So basically we'll add these specifically. So we'll say you don't have to be state comment out anymore. I should use you. So now we could say .fork. Have a fork class. We'll say color is gray. It's how we display when the color is gray when the repo is forked. And then for main, so basically this is where all the repository is stored. And then I just want to make 5 columns, so it doesn't question to 1 column. Title, we'll say text align center this text, and then hashtag result. It's not. All right. So now what we'll do is add the final 2 lines of our JavaScript. So basically, now if we try to take a look of our newly created file, so with some custom styles. So now you could see that by default, all these is hidden, right? So we don't see, like, unless you fill a username, you won't see what's the information. Now if I do fill out, oops. If I do fill, I don't think there's any errors. You can see it's still hidden for some reason because I didn't wait, did we seriously get an error? No. So we need to unhide this, right? So we need to unhide the result, because if we try inspect, result, you could see my profile picture shows up nonetheless. So now what we need to do is we want to change the class, so to speak, because when we click on the form, we want to hide the form and then display the contents. So we can do that by using this. So we can say document .get element by ID. Then we can say result .set attribute, and then we set ID ID to nothing. So basically, don't give an ID. Oh, sorry for not seeing this. And then we can say document.getElements by ID form. We'll just set the attribute to hidden. I mean, no, not hidden. Set it to result, because result only have one side, which means hidden, the thing. Just make sure these are the same. Yep. All right. So now, if we try refresh, fill out the information. Oops. I don't think admin isn't existing, but if I try to click, you can see now it displays everything relatively nicely. I would say, pretty nice. Yeah, I mean that's pretty good. Looks pretty good. And then if I want to, whoops, I don't want to go Notion. And then if I type the wrong username, so this username that obviously won't exist. Submit. Now I can see it said no such user. Alright, so that's about it for our GitHub, build a little GitHub profile site with me. So thanks for watching this series and hope you build a successful project. Later this project will do available by GitHub. You can check it out at github.com/devisme/github-profile. So before ending this, I will briefly talk about what I will do. So we will go ahead and talk about our final vanilla JavaScript tutorial as of now. Talk about module import and export. I know I still didn't cover a lot of vanilla JavaScript, but I would really want to get started with React.js, and then I'm also preparing a little surprise for all of you when I reach 100 subscribers, which I will tell the surprise when I reach 100 subscribers. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment down below. I will answer to all the comments as of now, which is June 30, 2020. And thanks for watching. See you next time. And yeah.